Alright, so welcome back. Um, Today we are going to talk about compound angle formulae, and under that I will also talk about half angle and double angle. Pretty much you need to know the compound angle formula for sine, cosine and tangent, and then actually the half angle and double angle is just from the same thing. It's nothing different from the compound angle. Okay, so we will study this now. So today the main issue is that, so I have an angle like this. For example, this is angle A. Okay, and then say this is angle B. Okay, so then um, this orange angle will be A plus B, right? Okay, so now assume I know sine A, sine B, cosine of A, cosine of B. Okay, I want to know sine of A plus B, meaning this angle. Okay, so I know the sine and cosine for this angle and this angle, but I don't know for this entire thing A plus B. So now I want to use the information from here to find this information. Also, tangent is also in, there is also a formula for tangent, so you can also find the tangent of A plus B. All right, so that is what we are going to do today, and to do that we have a formula called compound angle formula. Okay, so just now we saw this kind of example. This is B, this is A, and then the whole thing is A plus B, right? Well, there can also be, apart from plus, there can also be a minus relationship. All right, so so maybe the whole thing here is B, and then, or maybe let's say A. Okay, and then the small thing here is B. Okay, so then the orange, this angle here is A minus B. So you can find for A plus B and A minus B, like in both situations you can find, okay, addition or subtraction, and it's the same formula that you use. You just need to change the sign from positive negative. So let's do this. The formula is like this. I'm not going to prove it now. There will be a separate video. I will just to prove the formula, because the proof is a bit long. All right, and we will do that maybe sometime later. Right now the focus, you don't have to prove the formula. So the formula is like this. Sine of A plus B is sine A cosine B plus cosine A sine B. All right, okay. And another thing is that for sine minus B, okay, so okay, let's just go back. Yeah, so for sine plus B, this is the way you can write it it's the same as sine A cos B plus cos A sine B. And for sine A minus B, so if you have a subtraction, not an addition, okay, subtraction, then it's the same formula, just change the sign, so it becomes minus. All right, so so together I want to write this like this. So if we have a plus, this sign here is also a plus. If we have a minus, this is also a minus. Okay, so the sign is like that, it's the same. If it's an A plus B, then it's sine A cos B plus cos A sine B. If it is minus, then you change the sign in the right hand side also. Now how about cosine? So let's look at the plus side. So for cosine, it's a bit different. It is cosine of A times cosine of this is B, so not beta, it's B. Okay, minus sine A sine B. So if the sign here is plus, if it's A plus, if it is A plus B, notice the sign here is minus. All right, for cosine it's different, not like sine. Okay, and then what happens when you let me change the color. Okay, so what happens when you change the sign here? Then the sign here also changes to a plus. Okay, so remember, if it is plus, if it is A plus B, then the sign then the sign is minus. If it is A minus B, the sign is plus. So here it's the balik. It's okay, it's the other way around. Okay, and you can work the tangent case out actually. Okay, but I'll just give you the formula here. The tangent case, tangent of A plus B is tangent of A plus tangent of B. So for tangent, how you're going to work it out is you take sine divided by cosine. All right, you have the sine, you have this thing, you have this thing, so you divide sine by cosine to get tangent. Eventually, if you do some like some manipulation and all, then you will get the answer. Okay, I'm not going to focus on that right now, I'm not proving it, but this is what you get: 1 minus tangent A times tangent B. So this is the formula for tangent. And if you change the sign here to A minus B, then all the signs on the right hand side also change. So this becomes a minus, and then in the denominator you will have a plus. Okay, so if you put it all together, if this is A plus B, then this will, the numerator will be a plus, the denominator will be a minus. Then if it's A minus B, the numerator will be a minus, the denominator will be a plus. Okay, so these are the three formula, and they apply to any angles A and B. So any angle you put inside, it will work. Alright, this is the formula. Now we'll do an example. Maybe we don't need to calculate, but I'm just going to show you how to use it. So let's take the the more tricky one, like maybe tangent. Okay, let's take tangent. So if I ask you to find okay, so I ask you to find tangent of tangent of 70 degrees, for example. Okay, or maybe let's take tangent of, I give you a better angle, tangent of 105 degrees. So 105, it's a bit tough, but we can break it up. So this is tangent of 60 plus 45, right? And tangent of 60, tangent of 45, if you remember in a few videos ago, we have already done this. We already know without even using the calculator. So this will be, how do you write this? Go back to the formula. Use this formula that you have. So the numerator is tangent A. So this is a plus. So we take the plus case, right? The numerator is tangent A plus tangent B. And in this case, it will be tan 60 plus tan 45. Alright. The denominator will be 1 minus tangent, just refer back. 1 minus, yeah, remember, the denominator is the opposite sign. So 1 minus tangent A tangent B. So this should be tangent 60 times tangent 45. Okay, this is a multiplication here. Okay, so then we can get the answer. This one you don't have to, I'm not going to show you the answer just for time, in the interest of time. But notice that tangent 105 we cannot find without using a calculator. But if we break it up like this, we can find using a calculator, because 60 and 45 are special angles that we already know the sine, cosine and tangent. Okay, all right. So let's just go to the next page. All right, so now we'll talk about the half angle formulae. Okay, man. All right, so we know that let me give you an angle theta. Okay, another way to write theta is you can divide theta into an addition of what? Theta over 2 plus theta over 2, right? 1 over 2 plus 1 over 2 is equal to 1, right? So theta over 2 plus theta over 2 is equal to theta. Okay, you divide anything by 2, you add it by itself, you'll get back the original number. So we're just going to use this, okay? And then sine theta we can write as sine theta over 2 plus theta over 2. So this is sine theta over 2 cos theta over 2 plus cos theta over 2 sine theta over 2. This is from our formula here. Okay, cool. So notice sine theta over 2 cos theta over 2 is exactly the same as cos theta over 2 sine theta over 2, right? It's the same angle. So the same angle you repeat twice. That's why you get two similar terms, and then you just this just becomes 2 sine theta over 2 cosine theta over 2. So okay, you can skip this working. I'll give you the final. So the final answer, you want to write it very neatly. This is just 2. Alright, now cos theta also, you do the same thing. You choose the cosine formula, okay, and then you will get cos theta over 2, sorry, let me just write it in. So this is So theta is equal to theta over 2 plus theta over 2. Then you get, okay, minus which then becomes, this is cos times cos of the same angle, right? It's theta over 2. So this becomes as cos squared. Oops. Let me write it nicely a bit. Cos squared of theta over 2 minus the same thing for sine. This is sine squared of theta over 2. Alright. And so you can write this neatly. If you want to like get to know the formula deeply and think about it, just pause and rewind. Okay, I might be going a bit fast. Okay, so this is the second one. Cosine of theta is equal to cos squared minus sine squared of theta over 2. Alright. Tangent. Same thing. So we use the tangent formula. Okay, the third one. We will get, this is tan theta over 2 plus theta over 2, which means, what's the numerator? The numerator is tan theta over 2 plus tan theta over 2. The denominator is 1 minus. Remember, the denominator is the opposite sign. Okay? And this thing, the numerator, we can simplify to 2 tan theta over 2. The denominator pula, we can make it a squared term, meaning this is tan squared theta over 2. Okay, so this is tangent of theta. So 1, 2 and 3. So these are the half angle formulae. That's all. It is just you use the same thing again. You use the compound angle formula and you break up theta into an addition. That's all. Okay. Very similar to this is another thing called the double angle formula. Okay. Let me just give you an example of an application. We can go over this if we discuss like other questions and stuff, so don't worry. How do you use this? Okay, so now say I want to find okay, I know what, if I know what cosine of 50 is, okay, then I want to know what, and then sine of 50 also I know. So what is sine of 100? This is what I know. Okay, this is what I don't know. I know the cos of 50 and the sine of 50, but I do not know what the sine of 100 is. So how do I do this? I use the half angle formula. Okay, 100 is just 100 over 2, which is 50, right? It's 100 over 2 plus 100 over 2, right? 100, sorry. Okay, so which is just 50 plus 50, right? So 50 is the half angle here. Okay, so 50 is the half angle. What I do is sine 100, I use this formula. So now my 100 is the theta, and then 50 is theta over 2. Understand? Perfect. So sine 100 equals to 2 times sine 50 times cos 50. Oops, this is messy. Okay, so that is how I use this. Now I know sine 50, I know cos 50, so I can find this sine 100. Alright, that's how we use this formula. Next, I'm not going to go too long. So double, wait, or did I write it somewhere else? Okay, I wrote it here. Double angle formula. So same thing. Sine 2 theta is, so double angle formula is for 2 theta. The half angle formula is for theta. Okay, basically you break theta into theta over 2 plus theta over 2. Double angle formula is basically breaking 2 theta into theta plus theta, right? If you have an angle times 2, you can also write it as if you have an angle theta times 2, say for example 30 times 2 is 60, so 60 equals to 30 plus 30, right? The 60 is 2 theta, and if the theta is 30. Alright, so that's it. So we are just using this fact, and when you write it down, so sine 2 theta equals sine theta plus theta, which is this thing here. And I forgot one thing in the previous exam. No, I don't think I did forget. Yeah, because it's an addition. We are not looking at subtraction. So yeah. So we don't care about subtraction here. The double angle and half angle is based on addition only. Right? And this becomes, okay, so this is the simplified version. This is 2 sine theta cos theta. Similarly, I mean, it's the exact same thing as before, so I want to just go through this very fast. This is cos theta sine theta, sorry, let me just write the other, theta plus theta, then becomes cos theta sine theta minus sine theta. Oops, what am I doing? Okay, it's cos theta, cos theta, okay, minus sine theta, so this is just cos squared theta minus sine squared theta. Alright, now this is interesting because I'm going to make you recall another thing. So this is cos squared theta minus sine squared theta, right? This is one way to write it. But do you remember? So remember, sine squared plus cos squared is 1. Sorry, sine squared theta for any angle, sine squared theta plus cos squared theta is equal to 1. So now notice that sine squared is 1 minus cos squared theta, and cos squared theta equals to 1 minus sine squared theta. And if you substitute these things inside this cos squared minus sine squared, you can get two more equations. Okay, so say you substitute for sine squared. Okay, look at this. So this is equal to cos squared minus, and what is sine squared? Sine squared is 1 minus cos squared, so in bracket 1 minus cos squared theta. Okay, now this becomes, so if you take out the bracket, I'm just going to work here. If you take out the bracket, this becomes a 1, and it becomes plus cos squared theta, right? Because minus and minus. Okay, so let's go back, look at this. Okay, when you take out the bracket, when you take out the bracket, this remains a 1, and then this side it becomes a plus. So we have cos squared plus cos squared minus 1, which can also be written as 2 cos squared minus 1. Okay, and this is also the same. So now we substituted for sine theta. If we substitute for cos theta, we get something else. Okay, we can substitute for cos theta, which is this becomes 1 minus sine squared theta. Look at this second equation here on the right, and then minus sine squared theta. So this is just 1 minus 2 sine squared theta. Alright, so these are the three equations that you can come up with. Cos 2 theta is either cos squared minus sine squared, or you can also write it as 2 cos squared minus 1, or you can write it as 1 minus 2 sine squared. Alright, and tangent 2 theta, this is not very complicated. This one you just follow again the formula here, this formula, the third one. Okay, so this is just tangent theta plus theta, okay, which becomes tangent theta plus tangent theta, this pen is a bit of a problem, sorry, okay, over 1 minus tangent theta times tangent theta. So we can change this numerator into the same way we did just now, 2 tan theta, and then the denominator becomes tan squared theta. Alright, so that's another way we can write that tangent 2 theta is equal to 2 tan theta plus 1 minus tan squared theta. Alright, so these, and this. Remember, for cosine there are three equations. Okay, because you can substitute these things here on the right. You can substitute this to get this and this. Okay, alright, so I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much for your attention. See you. Have a nice day and stay safe.